Why you'll fail this No Nut November. Now, if you're watching this video, you're either on the verge of failing or you're struggling through this month. Or, of course, a lot of men end up retaining their seed and others relapse. But here's the truth behind why most men fall short and what you can do to positively turn things around this year. Watching porn plus doom scrolling plus eating junk food plus sleeping less than 8 hours equals low self-esteem. Stop wasting your energy and start investing in yourself. Now really think about it, right? Everyone on this earth has limited energy, time, and attention that you can put towards whatever you want, right? And we think about it, especially in the month of November. You'd think that this is a challenge for men to really try to improve themselves, discipline themselves, and try to achieve some sort of outcome that they want to have, right? And it's one of those things where we have so many temptations, man. There are so many things out there that are distracting us. And you have to understand and recognize that whatever habits you build compound on each other, right? So if you have one area of your life where you're living in compromise, right? You pull up the IG and one thing leads to another, man, you end up relapsing. Right? You have to look at it in terms of this is your life. You only get one chance. And the more that you really take things for granted, you think that you're going to get another chance, that there will always be an opportunity, is completely false, right? You have to remember, this is your chance. This is your chance to make things happen. November, it's a great start for men to be able to really just take control of their energy and not let, things slip. Whatever things that they want to get done in their lives, man, you can make it happen, but you got to put in the work, right? And it's really about investing into yourself, right? Like I always say, the greatest ROI is in yourself, right? And November really sets you up for that. But you got to think, we need to think even past November, because you need to think of this as a lifestyle, right? At the end of the day, when you're not getting the things done that you need to get done, right? And if you think about it, man, majority of you, if you end up relapsing, man, you're tired. You go, right, eat the junk food. You stay up late. Those are all things that are setting yourself up for failure, right? So that cheap dopamine and all of those things that you can get from, right, these quick pleasures, you got to understand what you're trading it for. And you're trading it for your potential, right? And you're the only one that can change that. And as a man, no one cares that you're doing it. But you will have to live with the consequences of either making the correct decisions or making the incorrect decisions. You're an addict. Sounds harsh, but it's true. Daily, 4 hours, 49 minutes. Weekly, 39 hours. Monthly, 166 hours. Yearly, 1,961 hours. That's how much time people spend on their phones. Here's a reminder to take your time back. Your future self will thank you. Now, the amount of time people spend on their phones is insane. And I'm not going to be the one to come up here and pretty much tell you guys, oh yeah, nah, you got to automatically cut down your phone time. Don't be on there at all. It's because honestly, you can do work anywhere on your phone. And it's really just what you do on your phone, right? So if you're trying to improve your dating life, if you're trying to be more social, if you're trying to, learn a language, whatever you're trying to do, educate yourself. Man, you have to realize and understand the time and be intentional with the time that you have on your phone. I'm recording this video right now, putting this content out for you guys in the community. And of course, what does this do, right? I'm building a brand. But I could easily be just watching YouTube videos, doom scrolling on TikTok, looking at all these things that I know are not really going to progress me to where I want to go. And I know my future self is going to look back at this video and be proud of what I'm doing, right? It's already 9 o'clock. It's completely dark outside. There's no one out here, man. It's Halloween. Kids are outside. And I decided to hit the park and get some work in, man. Right? And I'm going to thank my future self. But you need to understand, right, the distractions that you have and how this can scale quickly, because right? One wrong action can lead to another, and it can really just spill over in a ton of different areas of your life, right? So you got to be careful with the phones. They design these apps to be addicting, right? Even YouTube, man, we all know it's addicting. And it's really just being aware of these things that's going to help you to really understand and be more intentional with the time. So next time, you're scrolling shorts, man, just take a second to think about what your priorities are now. If you're de-stressing at the moment, you're kind of chilling, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not here to tell you to never, do this or do that, because I don't even think that's real. But just be intentional, man. Just be intentional with what you want to do. Hard pill to swallow. You struggle to make friends because you're not that great to be around. And what I think a lot of people fail to do, right, is to self-reflect, including myself, man. Half the time I'm putting out videos, I'm trying to work, grind. And what happens? Sometimes I forget to look back and reflect on what I've done, right? And if you don't reflect on yourself, you don't know where you're going. But in this case about, making friends and even relationships as well, any relationship could be with women, right? Could be with the bros. Man, if you don't have a lot of them, right? There's a good chance that you're just not that valuable to be around, right? People, right, gravitate towards those that can provide value in their lives, right? If it's a woman, right, the more value that you can provide to a woman, the more likely that you're going to have them around, right? And if we think of friendships, right, if you're helping people to gain experiences, to learn things that they've never done before, to really maybe get out of their comfort zone, you got to think that you'd more than likely have people around you. Now, don't get me wrong. You can lock in, and sometimes we all know you can't be around friends all the time. Some people are toxic, this and that. But just take a look and think about that, right? The relationships in your life. And if you, struggle to get women, if you struggle to have just genuine connections, and it's cool to have a couple and not be friends with everybody, don't get me wrong, because even myself, sometimes I do that. But just think about it and the type of value you provide in these relationships, because sometimes people get to a point to where they think that, man, things are just cool. But at the end of the day, it's all about value that you provide. And it's easy to forget when you're just chilling with one of the bros. You think everything's all good and all that. And then people switch up, man. People switch up. They leave you. They don't reach out anymore. And you got to realize everything is value in this world. And if somebody has a better option, odds are they're going to take it. So just make sure that you're a valuable individual, however that is for you. Self-reflect on that. And we all know, right? The growth comes from you understanding and looking back and acknowledging, where are your weak spots and improving those. And social skills is super important for everyone. So learning those, being able to talk, articulate yourself, ask questions. Man, a lot of people don't ask questions to other people. They don't know how to socialize. And it's something that could hold you back. The solution to an unhappy life is to focus on what you can control. Man, I felt this one, and I know a lot of you guys do, because, as a man who wants success, right, who wants relationships with women, who wants, who just wants freedom over my time and location, there is almost, it's something into the air to where you feel unhappy with where you are in life, including myself, right? I have a lot of areas in my life to where I really want to improve, right? Man, there's a ton of things, but even to start, man, I'm not living on my own, living where I want to be. And that's something that's huge for me that I want to progress in, right? There are a lot of different areas, and how I look at it and how a lot of you should look at it is, right? Man, being unhappy and being content or not content are two completely different things. When we talk about being unhappy, right? Happiness is really a fleeting emotion, right? One moment you can be happy, the next moment you may not be happy. But what we need to focus on is what we can control. So, I can focus on the time that I put into the work, right? The business, the things that I don't consume, right? So maybe I'm not on IG as much, which I try to do a lot, Maybe it's, I can click something to see fewer and make sure that it's not hitting my eyes and hitting my mind. And I'm not getting distracted by, the news and the media and all these things that are happening that at the end of the day, they're sucking your time and they really don't matter because, the next drama is always going to happen. The next relationship, the next, Instagram post, YouTube post is always going to happen. But you're not always going to have the opportunity, right? So it's really just focusing on what you can put in, man. And that's putting in the hours and being intentional with the time. Here are the four most common problems modern men face: complacency, poor health and fitness, lack of discipline and resilience, prawn consumption and inability to control desires. What would you add? Now, in this month, right, where men are looking to retain their life force, their energy, what you got to understand is that, bad habits, like I said earlier, they build on themselves, right? And when you see someone who has compromise in one area of their life, they tend to have it in a lot of different areas, right? So if someone is overweight, where do you think they have compromise in their lives, right? Probably mentally, one, they don't believe in themselves. And even if they do, right, there's something there where maybe just what they believe that's possible for their lives is not there, right? And everyone has those areas where you may not be as confident and it's an area that you need to work on. But you got to understand that a lot of these issues, not believing in yourself, the poor health, not, getting your fitness in. And a lot of these issues, especially for men, right, can be solved by, making sure that they're doing what they need to do, right? Not getting the cheap dopamine from the quick, IG post, from going on the hub, all these things that really rob you of your energy and your motivation. Man, have you ever noticed the more YouTube shorts that you watch, the less motivation that you have? Have you noticed that, the more times you relapse, the less motivation that you have to change your life? And then you have to ask yourself, right? Why would somebody want me not to have that motivation to change my life? And maybe it's because they want me to be stuck where I am. Maybe it's because they're profiting and making money off of where I am, and you got to start to question yourself. Why would they want me to be weak and in a vulnerable position to where I can't change my life? So you got to start questioning these things that you think are free, that you think, you're getting a benefit from, to where you're not getting a benefit from anything, because when you turn off the phone, when you close the app, when you close the browser, close the window, you're still exactly where you started. And that doesn't feel good, right? And the inability to dictate and control the direction of your life and where you want to go, it's one that hurts. And as men, we have to take control. And one of the easiest ways you can take control is with your desires down there. Especially, man, two of the hardest things are, are definitely food, controlling what you eat, and controlling, the appetite with women. And if you control those, you have a lot of control over your life. How to get ahead of 99% of people. Seek discomfort. Learn from others' mistakes. Let go of the need for approval. Take responsibility for your life. A successful life is one of intention. Choose the life you want to live. Right? And as I continue, and as a lot of you continue to learn from other people, and I heard somebody say this, that the life that you chose is the life, where you are is where you chose to be. Where you are is where you chose to be. The position that you're in is where you chose to be, with your conscious and unconscious thoughts. And I think about this a lot of times because, when we look at our lives, a lot of times we say that, oh, this is this person's fault, or we like to blame other people, or not even look in the mirror as well. Because when you really look in the mirror and look at what I'm doing with my time. What type of priorities do I have, in my life? Am I going to party? Am I chasing, things I shouldn't be chasing? Or am I prioritizing what I need to prioritize? Am I prioritizing the success? Am I prioritizing, the fitness, my health, things that are temporary, right? Because there are some things in life that are temporary, and there's some things in life that are not temporary, right? There's always going to be, more jobs. There's always going to be more work to do, but your family, the time that you have here, right? There are certain things that you can't get back, right? You being this age, whatever age you are watching this video, remember, you only get to live this age one time, right? So seeking that discomfort, right? Not worrying about people judging you, or, saying things about you because maybe you're taking a different path than other people are. Maybe you decided, I'm not going to school. I want to chase that entrepreneur route, whatever you're doing, right? Taking responsibility for where you want to be is important. And it's the only way that you can really dictate and control and be happy, and content with where you are in life. And, if you don't do that, again, you live with the consequences. But prioritizing where you want to go and where you want to be, I can't say everything will fall into place, but at least that's one area that you'll be happy with. The greatest lesson I learned: live life on offense. Don't wait for things to happen. Make them happen. This opens doors and lets you create the future you want. Now, this is something I tend to try to live by, because living life on offense, right? Not waiting for things to happen, not waiting for opportunities or doors to open, but doing everything in your power every single day, grinding, knowing that I don't have any compromise in my life because I made a conscious decision to maximize all of the opportunity. And if there's not opportunity or I don't like what's available, I go create it, right? So while you wait for opportunity, life will just pass you by in pretty much the direction, and wherever the wind blows, that's where you'll follow. But as long as you prioritize your time and your goals and your focus and your intention, you can have that power. You can get that power back, right? The No Nut November is just a month, but we're talking about a lifetime, your entire life. You only get one, man, right? And if you want that future, you know what you have to do. I don't have to tell you much, because at the end of the day, you guys may be watching this video, but you know what you have to do. I don't have to tell you, because deep down within your subconscious, within your mind, you already know what you need to get done. Hard pill to swallow. The more prawn you watch, the more potential you waste. Now, this one is an easy one, right? Because a lot of times, when people talk about potential and wasted potential, it's right aligned with the time, right? And I think it's hard for a lot of men to grasp what they're doing. And, they think, again, that the opportunity is always going to be there, right? But your habits, they can either drain your time and bring you farther away from your goals or bring you closer. And your goals can bring you right closer or farther away, right? You're the only one who has the opportunity, who knows, who can decide, right? And understanding how those habits can drain your time, drain your intentions, right? Each moment you spend consuming that content is another moment lost, right? And a lot of times, right, we tend to think and care about what others think, right? You look at yourself and really, you got to understand, you're the only one who's judging yourself. But you're the only one who can really take that control and really switch things up. Right, so confront your reality. Look in the mirror, see what you have to change, but know that this is an opportunity. This month is an opportunity for you to get your energy back. It's an opportunity for you to live the life that you always wanted to live, but it's all up to you, and you know what you got to do. I'm out.